How is it going, you guys? Steven from Break Free Homestead. Today, we are going to be installing this Pergo Timbercraft Wet Protect. It's supposed to be a waterproof whole deal here, going in our kitchen renovation. Let's get going. I've installed vinyl flooring once before and it was lower quality. So this is some nice stuff. We have the Pergo Gold underlayment. I'm sure if you're looking at this, you're looking at getting that also. And then I'll show you what tools we have going along with this to do this job. Rubber mallet. Tapping block. They also make these ones a little bit bigger with a handle on it that might help a little bit better. But we have this from our last install and it's gonna work. Obviously you're gonna need your razor blade to cut this Pergo Gold. Here we have a pulling block for those tight spaces that you need to move it back away from the wall and you can't fit a block behind. We also have an undercut saw. Mine's not put together, but I have it here. Used this on our last installation, or you could use an oscillating tool if you have that. You're also gonna need something to cut your laminate flooring. Some thinner floors you can use like a razor blade, you'll have to read the directions. Today, we are gonna be using a miter saw to cut our wood. If this helps you guys out at all, would you please consider dropping down below, hitting that like and subscribe button. It really helps our channel as we grow our homestead, and we'd love to grow with you. Thank you guys, let's go. Here we're gonna be working around, we have a table in here, the fridge and the oven, because we're living in this thing while we're redoing it. Kind of a pain in the butt, but we're gonna start this side and then we'll move stuff and then we'll finish the other side. So we've made sure our underlayment is very level. Well, it's a pretty new house, so we didn't have any issues, but you can use some putty to level out some low spots if you need to. But we also made sure it's all nice and clean. We went back and after we cleaned it up, we vacuumed it too, so there's no debris in here. Try to keep your space clean so you don't get anything crazy under there. All right guys, so for the start of this, we used a full 4-foot piece. Then it went down to a 3, a 2, and a 1, so we'll have 12-inch spacing. So it'll be this pattern all the way throughout. What you could do is basically use a junk piece on the end and come in and put that one in later. You could screw it in, because these will move as you don't have that many down. So once we get a little bit bigger, before it's unmovable, we're gonna make sure it's set in the right place. So let's get going, start laying full lengths out. Guys, it is pretty freaking hot. As you can see here, we're using a scrap piece. We'll try to get on video real fast so you can see what we're doing. All right, so that's good right now. And we're gonna use our scrap piece like I was talking about. Throw that on there. Make sure that's good, okay? Now you're gonna lift this up, probably at like a 40-degree angle. And it's gonna kind of lift up the existing floor that's already in place. with it, since you already snapped it in over here. Guide it in on the far edge over here, that it gets in the gap, and then you'll go ahead and tap. Okay, once that's all nice and tight, and you go ahead and push down. It'll kind of feel like there's some resistance when you hit about right here, and then you just gotta push it down that extra step, get it in place. Then once you do that, make sure you come back, look at this, and make sure the gap is tight. So here's a little bit of gap right there. She'll come and stand on the existing piece, and then you put your scrap on this other end, and then we'll try to hammer it that way a little bit. So that's nice and tight now. On to the next piece. So we just got this whole setup that we have so far to where we want it. So I just put an extra scrap piece on there that we're eventually gonna throw away and screwed it right to the subfloor. That way, this is staying where you want it to. All right guys, so we're at our last piece on the end of the run. And so obviously we need that length right there. You can measure it, or you can flip it backwards. Put it up on the wall, right there. Just, you know, obviously just shy of your gap. And then what we'll do is go ahead and mark just short of basically where you want it. So then you cut there, flip it around the other way, and you don't have to use measuring tape. It's really, really hot here. Boom! On to the next one. Alright guys, I might look like a tomato because it's one of the hottest days we've had in the summer. But a few things when you're doing this. So I just got the short end in, so we'll skip that one. But for the long end, if you're doing it by yourself, you know, just put your foot right on top so it doesn't come out. Lift it up just enough. Tap it right in. Come down to the other side. Sometimes you don't even need to go to the other side, but so when it's pretty darn close, you just, if you smack it back towards the existing floor, it kind of just gets it right in there. She doesn't want to slap it. I'm slapping it, sometimes more slapping than others. But let's go to the short end real fast, show you how I get that in. Because it was pretty weird at first. So obviously get it in. It doesn't matter how close you are. Obviously, you know, your initial reaction is gonna try to get it as close as possible to this joint here, but you're gonna hit the other edge and it's not even worth your time. So go out a little bit and then you're gonna get it in, and if you kind of like wiggle it and slap it at the same time is the easiest way to get that joint nice and tight. Pretty darn close, you guys. Just under one board length on the back end. And then this room will be ready to put cabinets in. Tomorrow, I'm hopefully gonna do the cabinets. We're gonna whip it out, boom. It's all right there. It's a freaking, our addition is full of cabinets. All right, guys, I have the unofficial last piece of this kitchen portion. That way we can lay a beaded caulk on the outside and get this thing ready for cabinets tomorrow. Let's do this. Long day's work.